Hello friends, today we will learn the top most commands that a Linux system admin use in his daily life. I am a system admin and I work in one of the top 3 organizations in India as a Linux admin. So I will share my experience with you that I run these commands in my daily life. So first command is SSH. You can't skip this command because as a Linux admin, when you will be in your shift, you have to do the SSH to the server first. So let me tell you how to SSH to the server. For that, first you should be aware about the IP of the server or server name of the server. So we are aware here that our IP is this one. We can check it by fconfig-a. Now I wanted to SSH this server from my local machine. So there are 2 ways to log in into SSH. One by PuTTY, other by CyberArk. So PuTTY is a software that I am currently logged in, and CyberArk is the software that provided by CyberArk organization. It is provide extra security to the Linux server and it rotates the password of a user within 8 hours. So it depends on organization to organization in how much time they wanted to rotate the password. So this rotation of password help bigger organizations to be safe from hacker. So I cannot give you example of CyberArk here because it is accessible in my environment, not here. I am currently outside my environment, but I will show you the other example that is through PuTTY. So let me search the PuTTY. Once you open the PuTTY, you can give the IP here. So it is asking hostname or IP address. You can always give here. So I gave the IP here. I can log in as student user and I can give password. I logged in as student. I will give you one more example. From your local machine also you can try. Just type CMD. Because this machine is in VM environment and your local machine is in outside environment. So I am giving you some real life example. You can log into SSH. To SSH we need the SSH command, then the username. Username we are going to use here is student. Then we have to type @ then we have to give IP of the server, or you can give the server name here. So it depends on the organization. In some organizations, servers are configured by IP to log in on the server, and in some organizations they are configured to log in by both server name. Now let me log in. See, now I logged in from outside world to my system from the command line. So this was the first command, how to log in into the server. Now other command is, let me exit from here. I am logging out and opening the PuTTY session again. I am giving student as a user. So now I logged in as student. The other command you will be using, because you are a Linux admin, you will be having the root access. So you always have to jump as root. How you can jump as root? You can always do sudo sp-. Now it will ask you the password. You need to give your student password. This way you can log in as root user. Earlier you were student, now you are root. The other way we can do by su-. It also calls the root in background. Now it is asking the root password. Here it was asking student password. Now it is asking root password. So because you are working as a Linux admin, you will always be having the root password in the real environment. So this was the second command. First is SSH. Second is sudo su- or su-. Both are almost same. Now third command you will be using is to check the uptime on the server, and you will use this because you will get most of the time many incidents related to that your server is not up or it just has come up. So you can check it by this command. This command is showing that this server is up from 11 hours 15 minutes. Currently 2 users are logged in and its load average is this. Means this server has no high load. So this command always show high load when some application or system is behaving abnormal. In that case it shows high load and this value will be too high. Currently it is 0.02. It reaches, once it reaches above 15, you can consider your system has high load. And it is showing the current time, which is 21:36. Here is your next command. Then next command is cd. Suppose I wanted to go boot. You can go by cd command. You will be using that too much in every system. Next command will be, suppose I want to go to cd verilog. Next command will be ls-lrth. Let me show you the difference. Now it is showing 4.3K 1.2K, 3.9K. It is due to the option H, which is human readable. If I remove the H, it is now showing you the data in bytes, which you might not be able to calculate by Clearway. So you have to put H to get the exact details. So we can check it by history, the command that you used. One is SSH, second is sudo, third is uptime, fourth is boot, sixth is ls-lrth. Now sixth command is cat command. Suppose we wanted to read messages, that server is just rebooted and we wanted to verify the logs. So messages contain the system logs. We can do cat messages because the data is too large and we wanted to identify only like when the system was booted. I just pasted pipe-i boot and I got the output related to that. So this command is used to check the logs. Other command is, if you wanted to check the logs live, then what you can do? You can do tail-f messages. Now let me show you. As soon as I will log in with duplicate environment, the logs will update here. You just need to focus. I am going to log in as student again and I am going to give password. See, when I gave password, it captured the log that new session was started for the user student. You can always come out by controls. Now you can check. So you learn SSH, sudo, uptime, going to cd, ls-lrth, messages, and how to tail them. Other command that you are going to use in your daily life is free space -h. So you will be getting many incidents related to where memory utilization is low. Like here, only 286 MB is free out of 1.7 GB and 994 MB is utilized. 582 MB is in buffer and ready to take the load from the new processes that are going to run. Same as for swap, you will be getting alerts for swap as well. Currently it has 2 GB of swap and 1.8 GB free. So once this memory gets filled, the processes goes to swap memory. You will be using this command too much in your daily life. The other command is top command. Top command tell you the CPU utilization. So percentage CPU utilization is showing here that currently CPU is very fine and it is not above 80%. If it was above 80%, it showed here. And it is showing that these are the top processes that are consuming CPU and memory. But currently CPU and memory is fine, so no issue. So it showed here in word and resources. It shows the data in GB. Once it shows the data in GB, you will be able to identify that these are the processes that taking the CPU high or memory high. So if it is system related process and it is not going to impact your server, then you can restart that service. And if that service is related to application, you always need to ask to application team whether they can restart the service or whether they want us to restart the service. What are the other ways by which we can check how many or top 10 processes that are taking CPU? We can use ESOPS -sort is equal to, we are going to use percentage CPU from here. So we are giving percentage CPU, right? I wanted to check only top 10 processes that are consuming CPU. See, it gave the output that these are the top 10 processes that are consuming CPU. Same with the memory. These are the top 10 processes that are consuming memory. And other command is that you are going to use in your daily life is df-h to check the file system utilization. It is showing the output that currently root is 24% utilized. The other command you are going to use, suppose we have the shadow file and we have the student folder here. We have the student user here. Suppose, first of all, I am taking the backup of the shadow file. So you always need to take the backup of the configuration files like sudo, sudoers, shadow file before editing anything. So I am taking the backup. I am taking the backup by today's date. Today is 30 at April 2025.bkp or bkp I have written. You can write anything. Now what I am going to do, I am going to remove the student user from this shadow file. Okay, after removing this, This user should not be able to log in because I have removed his entry from shadow file. By the way, shadow file manages user and password related information. Now we will try with Putty again. Let's see if student can log in. We give the user student and we give the password. Now it is not taking the password and it is saying access is denied because we have removed the user accidentally. How to fix it? So we have to do again the backup file. We have to copy it again to the original shadow file, and it is asking you to overwrite. You will say yes. Now let's try again. See, now you are able to log in. So this is very lifesaver command. Before doing any configuration changes, you always need to take the backup like that way of the configuration file. Next command is gzip command. Suppose ls-lrths I wanted to gzip only these many files from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and one is 9. How I can gzip them all at once? So I have to copy till here and do gzip because I wanted to zip them, all of them all at once. Then I have to put star here. Let's see now if they were zipped. See, now all the files with the name network was zipped. This way we can zip the files, and this will be useful when your file system will be full. So in that case, some messages file take the space, you can always zip them. Other command would be move command. Suppose I wanted to move only these gz file to root, then I can do that by star.gz. I give star means it will take the output as all the files which has gz format. It will move them to root. Let me run. Now let me check here whether files are there or not. See, now all the zip files are missing from here because we have moved it to root. Go to cd root and you can check it here. See, files came here. So these are the Linux admin commands that you will use in your daily life once you will be working in production environment. So thank you for today. We'll come back again with interesting video. If you like the video, please do subscribe my channel and be updated. Thank you.